Welcome back to our channel, where we explore essential survival skills for outdoor enthusiasts. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a fundamental skill that could save your life in the wilderness: building a shelter. Whether you're an intrepid adventurer or just caught off guard in the great outdoors, crafting a sturdy, protective refuge is your key to survival. It's time to sharpen those survival skills and learn how to make the wild your home. So, ready to dive deep into the art of survival? Let's get started. In any outdoor adventure or emergency situation, having a shelter is vital for protection against the elements. A shelter is not just a place to rest, it's a stronghold against the unpredictable forces of nature. It's your shield from the harsh wind, a barrier against the relentless rain, and a fortress against the biting cold or blistering heat. A shelter is more than just a physical barrier. It's a psychological comfort, a beacon of security that reassures you, even in the heart of the wilderness, that you have a safe haven, a place to regroup and regain your strength. Moreover, a sturdy shelter can help deter wild animals, offering an additional layer of safety while you sleep or rest. It's a crucial tool in your survival arsenal, one that can make the difference between a challenging night outdoors and a potentially life-threatening situation. Remember, a well-built shelter can be your best friend in the wild. Before you start constructing, it's essential to assess the environment and choose the right location. This step is as crucial as the building process itself. You're looking for a flat, elevated area, away from potential hazards like falling trees or flood-prone zones. You don't want to wake up underwater or under a fallen branch, now do you? Also, consider your proximity to resources. Being near water is good, but not too close, as it attracts wildlife and insects. And speaking of wildlife, make sure your chosen spot is not on a game trail, where animals frequently pass. Take advantage of the natural features around you. A rock formation or a fallen log can serve as a solid foundation or a windbreak for your shelter. Mother Nature is your architect here. Let her guide your hand in choosing the perfect place for your temporary home. Choosing the right location can be the difference between a good night's sleep and a long, cold night. There are various shelter designs to consider depending on the materials available and the situation you find yourself in. Now let's delve into some common types. First up, we have the lean-to. This simple design uses two vertical supports and a sloping roof, making it easy to construct, yet effective against rain and wind. Moving on, consider the debris hut. This design requires more materials like branches, leaves, and grass, but offers a sturdy and insulated refuge. Lastly, we have the tarp shelter. This versatile option is quick to set up and provides excellent protection against the elements. Each design has its own pros and cons, and the ideal choice depends on your context, available resources, and personal preference. Remember, even the best shelter design won't be effective if it isn't properly constructed. Choosing the right shelter design can significantly enhance your comfort and safety in the wilderness. Now, let's get to the fun part, building the shelter. First up, the lean-to shelter. Start by finding two sturdy poles and a long branch. Place the branch between the two poles, creating a T shape on each end. This will act as your backbone for the shelter. Next, lean smaller branches against the main branch, creating a sloping roof. Don't forget to leave an opening for you to crawl through. Finally, layer the structure with leaves, grass, or any other debris for insulation. With this, your lean-to shelter is ready to shield you from the elements. Moving on to the debris hut. Begin with a strong forked branch driven into the ground. Insert a long straight branch into the fork, creating a ridgepole. Now lean smaller branches against the ridgepole, forming a ribcage-like structure. The next step is to pile leaves, grass, or any available debris onto the structure. The thicker the layer, the better the insulation. Finish it off by adding a door made of more debris or a makeshift tarp. Voila! You have a cozy debris hut to keep you warm and dry. Lastly, let's construct a tarp shelter. This one's fairly simple if you've got a tarp or a large piece of plastic. Find two trees about as far apart as the length of your tarp. Tie a rope between these trees at about waist height. Drape your tarp over this rope, adjusting it until it's centered. Secure the corners of the tarp to the ground using rocks or stakes. And you've got yourself a weather-resistant tarp shelter. Remember, these are just basic structures. Feel free to modify them based on your needs and the materials you have on hand. Whether you're building a lean-to, a debris hut, or a tarp shelter, the key is to ensure it's sturdy, insulated, and weatherproof. There you have it, your very own shelter in the wild. In addition to the main shelter, there are a few tips and tricks to enhance your comfort and safety. One such tip is creating a raised bed. A raised bed not only offers a comfortable sleeping surface, but also provides insulation from the cold ground. You can create one using sturdy branches, moss, and leaves. Another crucial consideration is building a fire pit. A fire pit not only gives you warmth and a means to cook food, but it also serves as a deterrent for wild animals. Simply dig a shallow pit, surround it with rocks, and you have your fire pit ready. And don't forget about the small things that can make a big difference. For instance, positioning your shelter entrance away from prevailing winds can help keep the interior warmer. Remember, survival is all about making the most of what you have. These additional tips can help you create a more comfortable and secure shelter in the wild. Building a shelter in the wild is a skill that can make all the difference in a survival situation. We've walked you through the importance of choosing the right location, understanding different shelter designs, and utilizing available resources. Remember, a well-built shelter provides warmth, security, and a sense of comfort in the wilderness. Practice these skills before you find yourself in an emergency situation. Until next time, stay safe and stay prepared.